Hey everybody, how you doing? Today I'll be talking about a movie called Cryptids, Cryptide or Cryptid. I hope I'm saying the last, say these names right, man. I always say in my reviews usually, I am bad with titles, I'm bad with names, and I'm so sorry. Cryptid from 2023. This movie has Joe Bob Briggs as the host of this radio show that takes in calls. It's kind of like an Art Bell type of thing. They're taking phone calls about the paranormal, anything unusual and strange on this radio show. And I've been noticing that there's a lot of horror anthology movies based on like a podcast theme or a radio host theme, talking about different horror stories or different stories from calls from the experience or what they know of. So this one is no different, though, to be honest with you. But I've been noticing this movie does have a lot of bad reviews, actually. But honestly, I actually enjoyed this movie. I thought it was enjoyable, although it was fun. I feel like all the horror stories are connected. I feel like it's original stories for this movie because I keep on saying this a lot now. Lately, I've been seeing horror anthology movies in this era when they borrow from short horror movies and put it together as an anthology horror movie into one. And I feel like that's cheating the system. I feel like you're cheating the anthology horror genre. You need to make your own original horror segments, horror stories for your anthology horror movies. Stop borrowing stuff that been done like 5 or 10 years, even 2 years, or even 1 year ago, and say, hey, to the director, can I borrow this short horror movie to add into an anthology horror movie I'm putting together? That's cheating the system, and I always don't like those type of movies. So that's why I was careful when I was watching this movie to make sure that these are like original anthology horror for this movie. These stories, I mean, and they were, because they happen to be connected, and you got you got these different calls calling in the show that Joe Bob Briggs is hosting, called the Truth Serum, and each segment is like the theme is about cryptozoology. I would say cryptozoology, like different monsters. You have one story about young people, young adults facing these mutant cannibals. You got another story about an alien that if you touch it, you get like a virus, the virus, human flesh virus eating, the flesh eating virus. Yeah, excuse me. You got one story about like a werewolf cat like monster or a rat. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was like in the last segment. Um, you got a mixed bags, of stories, monsters and creatures. Chupacabra, of course, that's one of the stories, which I like the Chupacabra story because for me it's the authentic chupacabra creature that everyone talks about how the monster really looks like a dog looking chupacabra. That's what the chupacabra really looked like. So I'm glad they kept it truthful with that segment. I feel like the acting was good. I feel like the editing was good. The pacing, the lighting was good, especially when it comes to shooting in the dark scenes. The lighting was pretty good. I feel like the quality of this movie was good also. It's very independent. It also felt like a movie theatrical feel with a few of the segments also. But I feel like it was well done. And of course, like any other horror anthology segment, you also get your twist ending about what the radio show is really about and why the radio show was hired to take all these calls and what will happen to these callers. Let's just say Men in Black scenario type of thing. But all in all, I really did like this movie. I thought it was an enjoyable watch, very fun. I wasn't bored with it. And I like these different monsters they have, like how they were showcased. So I very much enjoyed this movie. So I should definitely check it out. And you know what? October's right around the corner. To me, horror is not a 1 month thing. Horror is an everyday thing for me. I love horror movies. That's an everyday thing for me. But since October's right around the corner, hey, it'll be a great horror movie month watch or Halloween day watch. So I should definitely check out Cryptid. I'm gonna say it like that. If I said the name wrong, I apologize. Cryptid from 2023. Over and out, everybody. Peace.